Well, butter my biscuits and call me a crumpet, the British press have gone absolutely bonkers again. This time it's not about hats or handbags, but something far more subversive. Jam. Yes, you read that right. Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, dared to launch her own line of preserves in the United States, and the British media responded as if she'd declared war on tea time. Newspapers splashed headlines about Meghan's jam empire, with enough hyperbole to make one choke on their scones. Commentators sputtered about breaches of protocol and diplomatic incidents, clutching their pearls so tightly you could practically hear them crack. The sheer absurdity of it all could make a cat laugh, if it weren't so utterly predictable. But behind the faux outrage and manufactured drama lies a more intriguing story. One of shifting power dynamics, of a woman reclaiming her narrative, and of a media establishment desperately clinging to relevance in a world that's rapidly changing. So put the kettle on, grab a biscuit, or a scone if you must, and let's delve into this sticky, sweet, and utterly ridiculous saga of Meghan Markle and the great jam jar kerfuffle. You see, Meghan's venture into the world of preserves isn't just a business move, it's a statement. A declaration of independence from the rigid expectations of royal life. It's a way for her to carve out her own identity, separate from the monarchy's shadow. The British media, ever eager to pounce on any deviation from the norm, saw this as yet another opportunity to stir the pot. They painted her entrepreneurial spirit as a rebellion, a scandalous affront to tradition. But let's be honest, the real scandal here is the media's relentless obsession with Meghan. It's as if they can't fathom a world where a royal could be, well, normal, where they could have dreams and ambitions beyond the palace walls. And while the headlines scream of controversy, the reality is far more mundane. Meghan's jam is just jam, delicious, yes, but hardly the stuff of international incidents. Yet in this simple act of making and selling jam, Meghan is doing something profound. She's taking control of her story, turning the page on a new chapter of her life, one where she isn't just a duchess but a businesswoman, a mother and a person with her own passions. So as we sip our tea and nibble on our biscuits, let's take a moment to appreciate the delicious irony of it all. In trying to smear her name, the media has only highlighted their own absurdity, and in the end, Meghan's jam might just be the sweetest revenge of all. So here's to Meghan, her jam, and the delightful chaos it has stirred. Long may she reign in the world of preserves, far away from the prying eyes of the tabloids. Cheers! Now, let's be clear, Meghan isn't exactly churning out jars of jam in a backyard shed. This isn't a quaint little side project where she's stirring pots and sealing jars with handwritten labels. No, this is Meghan Markle we're talking about, and she's bringing her A-game to the table. This isn't some homespun hobby. It's a carefully calculated business venture by a woman who knows a thing or two about branding. Meghan has always had a keen eye for detail and a knack for understanding what resonates with people. She's leveraging her public persona and her business acumen to create something truly unique. Partnering with an American company, she's created a product that reflects her values: organic ingredients, sustainable practices, and a focus on supporting women-owned businesses. This isn't just about making a profit, it's about making a statement. Meghan is committed to promoting a healthier lifestyle and empowering women entrepreneurs. The fact that she chose to launch in the United States is significant. It's a strategic move that aligns with her personal and professional goals. By launching in the US, she's tapping into a massive market and leveraging her American roots to build a brand that resonates with consumers on both sides of the Atlantic. It speaks to her desire to forge her own path, free from the constraints and expectations of the British establishment. Meghan has always been a trailblazer, and this venture is no different. She's breaking free from the traditional mold and redefining what it means to be a modern businesswoman. Remember, this is a woman who was once told to keep her voice down and to fit in. She faced immense pressure to conform to a certain image and to play a specific role. But Meghan has never been one to be silenced or to fit into a box. Well, it seems the only thing she's fitting into these days is a successful entrepreneurial role, thank you very much. She's proving that she can be both a public figure and a savvy businesswoman. and she's doing it on her own terms. This isn't about snubbing Britain, it's about embracing her American roots and building something on her own terms. Meghan is proud of her heritage and is using it as a foundation to create something meaningful and impactful. It's about reclaiming her agency and demonstrating that she won't be defined by titles or traditions. Meghan is showing the world that she is more than just a duchess. She is a force to be reckoned with in the business world. And you know what? Good for her. She's taking control of her narrative and building a legacy that she can be proud of. Meghan is an inspiration to women everywhere, proving that you can break free from expectations and create your own path to success. The reaction from certain quarters of the British media was nothing short of hysterical. "Jamgate," they shrieked, as if the fate of the free world hung in the balance of a jar of fruit preserves. Commentators, their faces contorted with faux indignation, decried it as a diplomatic faux pas, an insult to the Queen, and a betrayal of British values. One particularly imaginative commentator even suggested that Meghan was trying to outdo the Queen, who famously has her own line of jams and chutneys. Because you know, nothing says royal rivalry like competing fruit spreads. Let's be clear, this is not a diplomatic incident, it's not even a storm in a teacup, it's barely a ripple in a jam jar. To suggest otherwise is to insult the intelligence of the British public and to trivialise actual diplomatic issues. This is about a woman launching a business, plain and simple. Section 4. Tabloid tales spreading more than just butter. The tabloids, never ones to let facts get in the way of a good story, went into overdrive. They thrive on sensationalism, and Meghan Markle has been one of their favourite targets. They concocted stories about secret deals, hidden agendas, and even suggested that Meghan was using the jam to send coded messages to her detractors. The creativity of these stories knows no bounds, and the more outrageous the better. One particularly ludicrous article claimed that the jam's label, which features a drawing of a California poppy, was a subtle dig at the British monarchy. The article went on to analyse the flower's symbolism, drawing far-fetched connections to royal controversies. Because, of course, everyone knows that California poppies are deeply offensive to the royal family. The absurdity of this claim is almost comical, yet it was presented with a straight face. The sheer absurdity of these claims would be laughable if it weren't for the fact that millions of people actually believe them. These stories are consumed and shared widely, creating a distorted reality for many readers. The tabloids have a long and sordid history of fabricating stories about Meghan, from her family to her friends to her every move and breath. They have painted her in various lights, often negative, to fit their narrative. And yet, despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary, these stories continue to circulate, fueled by a toxic mix of sexism, racism, and good old-fashioned jealousy. The persistence of these false narratives speaks to a larger issue within media and society, where sensationalism often trumps truth. It's a cycle that feeds on itself, with tabloids churning out more and more outrageous stories to keep their readers hooked. The impact on Meghan's public image and personal life is profound. Yet the tabloids show no signs of stopping. As long as there is an audience for these tales, the tabloids will continue to spread more than just butter. They'll spread misinformation, prejudice and sensationalism, all in the name of profit. It's a reminder of the power of the media and the responsibility that comes with it. In a world where information is at our fingertips, discerning fact from fiction has never been more crucial. Meghan's story is just one example of how the media can shape public perception, for better or worse. It's up to us, the readers, to question what we read and seek out the truth amidst the noise. Section 5. Meghan's Marmalade and the Media Monarchy. What makes this whole saga so fascinating is that it reveals a fundamental truth about the British media: they're losing control. For decades, the tabloids in particular have held a position of almost unparalleled power. They've dictated the narrative, shaped public opinion, and even influenced government policy. But that power is waning, and Meghan's jam is just the latest example of this.